I love acting and theater. 40 years ago, I decided what I was going to do with my life. And I decided I wanted to be an actor. And the decision was very practical. If I was going to be a painter, painters need to carry around big canvases and paints and all this stuff. Musicians have to carry around saxophones, guitars, amplifiers, whenever they go anywhere to play. And I thought, actor. I can be my own instrument. It's easy to carry me around. I can just go someplace and act, because I'm my instrument. And the decision really was like that, because I like to travel. I love to travel. And what I discovered about acting is that we all are actors. There's a famous Shakespeare line, "All the world's a stage." You know this line? All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely actors. We have our entrances and our exits, and each man in his life plays many parts. So each one of us here, we play the part of student, and there's a certain kind of behavior when you're a student, right? Yeah? Yeah? It's interactive. You can say stuff. You can say yeah. Or you can say no. Or you can go, oh, this is boring. But I really want to know. So can you say, just for practice, say yes really, really, really loud. 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
That was sort of loud. That was not theater loud. And now let's try no. 1, 2, 3.
No.
Okay, so you know English. That's great. That's all you need to know in English. Yes or no. That's what I learned when I first came to Costa Rica. Sí and no. People would talk to me and go, I go, sí. I decided to go to a drama school. And at the time I lived in England, I decided to go to one of those British drama schools that use Shakespeare. And I discovered that there's some big differences between performing live in theater, like here, and performing in movies. And you know what? Nowadays, you can become a viral movie star without ever leaving your own desk. You can just do something stupid in front of your camera and push a button and you're out on Facebook and thousands of people are viewing you. That never existed before, ever in the history of the world. We are losing the transference of knowledge and wisdom from one generation to the next. And theater, in its cultural roots, provides some of that. Some of that awareness, some of that practice. Some of those stories are encoded in great poems, great plays. So why do we study those things? They are history. And not just history like, oh, in 1825, so-and-so killed somebody, and you have to memorize it, and it's on the test. That's not why. But to discover the emotional history of humanity. When you give a presentation in your class, that's theater. When your teacher stands up in front of you, that's theater. When a politician stands up and gives a speech to a bunch of people who hate him, that's theater. There's great drama on that basis. There is indeed. And there's a lot of that these days. these never existed. Like 10 years ago, I was in China, in Beijing, at the drama school of Beijing. And there was a performance happening on the stage. And there were probably 40 people in the audience on their phones. I never saw that before. Of course, I'm really old, and some of you grew up with these as a reality. But that's a whole new phenomenon about acting and theater.
How does it feel to stand up in front of people? Shout out something.
Terrible.
Terrible.
Weird.
Weird. What?
Awkward.
Awkward. Good English word.
Scared.
Scared? Now, get a sense of your body. What does your body feel?
Like it is a wonderful opportunity to express my feelings.
A wonderful opportunity to express your feelings.
Yes.
Who mentioned the word shame? About being up in front of people and doing something, and then afterwards feeling vergüenza. Anybody feel that? Yeah? That's normal. That's normal. Me, 40 years doing this. It's normal. I walk out after here and I go, oh God, that was terrible. The ability for you all to give your energy to what's happening up here affects what happens up here. If you are up here giving a presentation and the people out there are going, what's going on up there? That's boring. Oh, I don't like her shoes. Yeah, whatever. Where'd she do her hair? Can that guy talk? I can't even hear it. All that blah, blah, blah inside our head while we're watching the thing going on up here. The only way to grow is to give support and encouragement to each other. So in theater, we develop communities where the different actors in the group say, yeah, that was great, just go for it, give it a little more. They don't say, that really sucked. You shouldn't be here, man, I should have your part. They do that too. When you leave here, the one thing I want you to think of is the way you can support other people. I was talking about Shakespeare earlier. Who likes to read Shakespeare? 1, 2, 3. In England, where I went to school, Shakespeare is God. Yeah, Shakespeare is God. God is God too, but Shakespeare is God. And in our drama school, we had to read Shakespeare every day and work on Shakespeare's lines every day. And if we got one word wrong, we were, you missed up. Every word is important. But what I discovered about Shakespeare is the complexity of the psychology. Once you start to understand the language, it's amazing. And nobody speaks like that. Now, we had a class in drama school that was articulation class. They made us form every vowel and every syllable and every sound. Vowel? Huh? In front of a mirror. Try this. Our articulation teacher, 9 o'clock in the morning class, she starts like this. Take your 2 fingers. You can do this. I know you can do it. Nobody's looking. And go like this. Huh? That's how wide your mouth has to be to say Shakespeare clearly. So it's also true when you speak publicly, that people can see the shape of your mouth because it makes it easier to understand you.
I'd like to share with you the whole of this speech. I need your help again. And this is Mark Antony's speech from Julius Caesar. where he turns the crowd around.
The noble Brutus has told you Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, it was a grievous fault. And grievously had Caesar answered. Here, under leave of Brutus, under the leave of Brutus and the rest, for Brutus is an honorable man. So are they all honorable men. Come I to speak at Caesar's funeral. He was my friend. Faithful and just to me. But Brutus says he was ambitious. And Brutus is an honorable man. He hath brought many captives to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? When that the poor have cried, Caesar hath wept. Ambition should be made of sterner stuff, but Brutus says he was ambitious. And Brutus is an honorable man. You all did see that on the Looper call, I thrice, that's 3 times, thrice presented him a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. What's this ambition? I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke. I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but here am I to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause. What cause withholds you now to mourn for him? Oh, judgment. Thou art fled to brutish beasts, and men have lost their reason. Forgive me. My heart is in the coffin here with Caesar. And I must pause till it come back to me. Thank you. I want to suggest to you that the ability to stand up in front of people with confidence is the single biggest ability that will change your life. It's why people get better jobs. It's how people get elected. It's how, when you have an idea that's going to change the world, or an invention that you want money for, it's how people have confidence in you to want to do that, to want to give it to you, to want to support you. And I want to tell you that being nervous and being afraid never, ever, ever goes away. Never. There are 2 reasons in the whole history of humanity that there is somebody in front of a group of people. 2 general categories. What are they? So on the one hand, you inspire, you motivate, you educate, you entertain, and on the other hand, you're being executed. That's in our DNA. So anytime you stand up here in front of people, this audience has both of those possibilities. They're making a choice inside their mind to either love you or kill you. And they don't kill you, they just turn off. They think about something else. They think about what's more important, like what am I going to eat tonight? Your future depends on your willingness to stand up and use your voice in front of people. Not just your future, but those things that you believe in your heart that's for the good of your community. We're all being called to stand up now and speak. Women, men, to tell our stories, to use our voices, to work through the shame of it, and do that fully and without apology. And it's very hard to do it. Like a number of you said, I'm afraid everybody else is judging me. But listen to this. You wouldn't worry, I don't know what this is in Spanish, but it's good to translate. You wouldn't worry what people thought about you if you knew how little they do. You follow that? Nobody's thinking about you. They're all thinking about how other people are thinking about them. Everybody in this room is more concerned about what other people are thinking about them than what they're thinking about you.